So there was a pretty interesting dialogue on Black Twitter going on about the effect the anti-SJW movement had on Black people, with some high-profile names called out, people that I have interacted with before. I have tried to keep honest about their role in getting Trump elected and helping right-wing talking points spread. So one of the main people that were attacked during the golden era of the SJW movement during the 2015-2016 time period was Francesca Ramsey. Now, I have to admit, I had some private messages with Francesca Ramsey. Now, they were flirty or anything. There was nothing special about them. But we had a polite conversation about my video, "If you are a Christian, you are an Uncle Tom." And she's one of the reasons I actually ended up taking the video down. She explained to me how she understands where I'm coming from. The entire gist of the argument I'm making in the video is that slave owners are the ones who thrust Christianity upon Black people, right? They beat it, they tortured it into the brains of Black folks, generation after generation, and by continuously spreading the religion of your white overlords, you are being race traders, basically. You're continuing to brainwash generation after generation of this harmful ideology that was literally forced upon your people. And she explained to me, like, she understands where I'm coming from and everything, but she doesn't really feel comfortable with white folks who don't have the experience that Black folks do using that term against Black folks, you know, weaponizing that term. And I understood. And also, like, I was at the point where I kind of put my ego aside and I was willing to listen to people. And a lot of other Black people explained to me, yeah, well, the point you make is sort of valid, but here's what you're missing. Church was the only outlet Black folks were allowed to have. It was the only community they were allowed to have. Through the hundreds of years of oppression, especially during slavery, they were allowed them to go to church, and they were able to organize, have a sense of community, and that was the only outlet they had for that. So what do I expect them to do? Pass up the only chance they have to coordinate with each other? To have community? Who am I to tell them that they are Uncle Toms for doing literally one of the only things they were allowed to do, which got passed on generation to generation? So I understood the argument, and I wrote the video for that reason. So Francesca came out last couple of weeks talking about the iDubbbz apology video that I covered. And this actually kind of dovetails into the clip I showed you guys from the Leftist Mafia recently, who gave me a shout out. And they had a Black lady on there who didn't know who I was, but one of the other people, Lance from the Surfs, mentioned that I used to be on the right. I was never really on the right, but it's a narrative that I don't really give a shit to push back on. And then I made a big 180-degree turnaround and had a redemption arc. And she said something along the lines, well, if he was ever right-wing, I don't really want him. And that kind of irked me. But I'm kind of understanding where they're coming from, and listen to these videos from Francesca Ramsey. I kind of understand their position, and since she didn't know who I was, she didn't really know if I was really like a far-right Nazi, which I never was, of course. So I kind of understand where she's coming from. So anyway, first video I saw on this issue was this one, just pointing it out.
Anti-social justice warrior era is what made the alt-right pipeline mainstream, and I will not elaborate.
I'm Francesca. I created a show for MTV called Decoded in 2015. It was all about race, pop culture, and identity. 8 seasons, over 90 episodes, and that entire time I was harassed by anti-social justice warriors on YouTube. So they would make these videos debunking my content, calling me names, sometimes using racial slurs, saying that I should unalive myself, that I should be SA'd, that I hate white people, that I hate men. They would talk about my now ex-husband, but it was all under the guise of comedy. And the thinking was that they were purporting that marginalized people are lying about our experiences, we're lying about our history, we are making a big deal out of things that don't matter, and we're creating words out of thin air, which, hello, that's where words come from. Someone has to make them up. And because these videos would target people that were extremely online and in need of a community, they were able to dupe people into consuming hours worth of content that had no research or fact-based evidence at all. They were pure opinion. And as we've seen with the
I'm not gonna play this whole thing. I'm gonna play the next video that she put out that was directly aimed at iDubbbz and also Chris Raygun, who was one of the popular anti-SJWs. Also a person that I called out when they were doing anti-SJW content. I specifically warned all these people that what you're doing is you're nut picking, the things the left does where you're giving the right a pass. You're spending 80% of your time shitting on the left and 20% shitting on the right when the right is a much, much greater threat. And you're going to help people like Trump get elected, and you're going to hurt marginalized people. You're going to hurt us all, right? And his response was, you're old, you need elder care for dummies. Oh my God, you're so old and senile. That was like, he's a fucking loser. I mean, Chris Raygun's a big fucking loser. I mean, what else can you say? He just not talented, not funny, has nothing going for him. So edgy content is the only thing he has to offer society, which is very attractive to the lowest common denominator among us. And if you ever interact with this fan base, that's exactly who they are, just the cretins of goddamn society. So this is who she is calling out in this series of videos.
I didn't intend on making a video about this, but I'm so angry that like I just have to say something and just like get it out and let it go. So recently there's been a wave of people who've made bigoted content on the internet coming forward and apologizing. TikTok, we've got Kelly Cagdon. On YouTube, we have iDubbbz, I think is how you say his name. And in years past, we've had Shane Dawson. And all of these people I have different relationships with. So I hosted a show for MTV called MTV Decoded. I actually created the show. I wrote on the show. I hired tons of incredible people and made a lot of great content that I am very proud of. But at the time that the show was on, I dealt with a lot of harassment because of it from these people that labeled themselves anti-social justice warriors, anti-feminists on YouTube, including iDubbbz. And he made a number of videos where he used the N-word fully uncensored, where he put my face in videos and called me, a and said that my work was cancer, and like my work made him want to kill himself. Most of these videos have been privated, so I can't show them to you, but I've seen them. And he created a culture and a fan base that then harassed me. So did Shane Dawson, right? Like doing blackface, saying the N-word, none of that stuff exists in a vacuum. Kelly Cagdon using her platform to demonize other trans people, demonize queer people, say that black people, enjoyed being slaves. Like all of this contributes to a culture of harassment, and the target being black people and queer people and women on the internet, including myself. And when these people suddenly have a change of heart, we're just supposed to accept their apology and move on. And I can't move on, and I can't accept an apology when an apology is the least you can do. These people have made millions of dollars off of their hateful content. Millions of dollars off of my face and my name. People will put my
Take a part.
full government name in the caption, in the metadata, in the description box, on screen, my face, my headshot. There are people that have put my name on their IMDb to say that I've been in their videos harassing me. Okay, people have built.
I already see the loser comments. Then get therapy. What a piece of shit fucking comment. You have no idea what it's like to undergo that amount of hate, and the people that send that amount of hate to you aren't doing it under good faith. They're doing it because they want clicks and they want money, and they have no care whatsoever about who they fucking hurt. You have black women, especially one of the most oppressed classes of all time in this goddamn country, attacked, ridiculed mercilessly for doing nothing but trying to educate the public on black fucking topics. Get fucking therapy. What a goddamn fucking loser you are. No care, no concern, no empathy, just a black hole where your fucking soul should be, goddammit. What's wrong with you? You don't have to be that fucking person. You can actually be a decent human being, but oh my God, hey, get therapy. Just get fucked, why don't you?
built entire careers off of hateful, big.
I'm gonna start blocking people. Move on right now, Rusty. All right, you're gone. Fuck you. I'm just gonna kick people. You want to be removed? All right, I'm not gonna remove you, but like, say something else. Like, it's an honor and a pleasure to watch this show. If you don't want to see it, get fucked. Get lost, right? It's the Dusty Show. You want your own fucking show? Go make your show, dipshit. You guys are trying to piss me off already.
Content. And now they have a change of heart, and we're all just supposed to accept it and move on. I'm sorry. Like, you cannot make a living off of my harassment and then assume that a sorry is enough. It's just really not. And then some of these people haven't said sorry at all, which again, bar is in hell. They just have like pivoted. They just suddenly started making content that's like a little less racist, a little less sexist, a little less homophobic. And if you bring up to them the shit that they've said in the past, I'm talking about you, Chris Ray-Gun, or whatever the fuck you call yourself, then we're just supposed to pretend it didn't happen. We're supposed to pretend that you didn't use my face and my name and suggest that I was a grifter and that I hate all white people and I think all men should die, you know, and you didn't suggest to your audience that it was okay to treat me that way, right? We're just going to pretend that that didn't happen.
I mean, it's okay if you be sorry, but like, we have to listen to the experiences and the words of marginalized people, black people. Like, they're telling us their experiences. They're telling us what's happening to them. And you're like, move on, this is boring. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Don't you want to be part of the solution, or do you want to keep doubling, tripling down on the current toxic culture we have? It's just annoying as fuck, right? I want this to be a community of decent fucking people, and if you're not one of them, blow. It's real fucking simple. Anyway, now I'm fucking annoyed at you guys. So stupid. No one ever wants to listen to any of these people. You just want to fucking listen to dumpster fire bullshit and be entertained. But there's some real important goddamn shit going on. So she called out Chris Ray-Gun and the fact Chris Ray-Gun's got 7 million views with this video. Ain't no rest for the trigger, with her picture in the thumbnail and a black animated character, which she claims is not her, but the picture in the thumbnail is her. It's clearly supposed to be fucking her. So basically the whole thing is him doubling and tripling down, saying, I did nothing wrong. They're not willing to take any responsibility whatsoever for what the fuck they've done. None of these people are. Her and him and Shoe on Head spent all day doubling and tripling down on the fact that anybody who thinks they should take responsibility for the content they put out are just whiny piss babies, that we shouldn't listen to the experiences of these black women, of these black influencers who underwent incredible levels of bullying. Literally, it gets to the point where you don't even want to make content anymore. They chase you off the internet. And then, do they ever get held accountable? No. We have people like Volsh, who's continually platforming these people, trying to redeem their image. It gets fucking old. How many times Volsh had Francisca Ramsey on his show to give her a giant fucking platform to rehabilitate her image? How much does he have me on the show? None. Zero. How many times does he have fucking Chris Ray-Gun on there? How many times he has fucking Shoe on Head on there? It's ridiculous. There's no accountability for any of this shit that went on, which led 100% to the anti-woke mind virus that is ravaging the conservative community these days. It's a direct evolution from the anti-SJW shit that went on. It had effects on people. It harmed people. It's still having effects. It's still harming people. And people don't want to fucking listen. They don't want to fucking take the goddamn time to listen to these black folks tell us what they feel. Move on, Dusty. That's your fucking response to me. Yeah, I'm getting fucking pissed at you guys. It's goddamn stupid. And of course, Ray-Gun's response is, how is it that me and my friends watched the edgiest shit possible growing up and entered adulthood without a seething disdain for black people or hatred of gays? Could it be that personal responsibility plays a huge part in the things we think and believe? So it's personal responsibility for everybody else. He doesn't have any fucking responsibility for the shit he put out, for the toxicity he put out there, for the harassment he calls black influencers, marginalized influencers. No responsibility. It's the person watching his content, the person influenced on it, who has to be responsible. No, there's plenty of fucking responsibility to go around. If you have a platform, you have platform responsibility. You are responsible for the shit you put out there. You are responsible for the atmosphere you feed into. And if that atmosphere hurts people, if it harms our society, yes, you are fucking partially to blame for that. Yes, if some goddamn idiot believes you when he shouldn't have been, when he's influenced by you when he should not have been, yes, it's on him, but it's also fucking on you. And it's on all you motherfuckers who aren't calling this shit out. It's on all you motherfuckers who are enabling this. Dude, you are not the one to throw stones here. All right, why should I throw stones here? Explain it. Explain, motherfucker who doesn't watch my content, who doesn't know a goddamn thing you're talking about, who has no clue that we've covered everything in my past that I've done, played all the videos, explained why it was wrong, took them down. I spent the last 5 years fighting for the rights of marginalized people. Explain to me why I don't have any right to speak out about this, motherfucker. Explain it. Explain how you've been watching this show and you really know what the fuck's going on. Tell me you don't watch the show without telling me you don't watch the show. Ignorant ass. So yeah, dipshits are like, he was always left-wing. Motherfucker out here at Clinton is far more terrifying than Trump. Trump used a loophole to avoid paying taxes. Clinton bribed the FBI. Gun to my head, I'd vote for Trump. He's more upfront, less hawkish, and also, it'd be hilarious to see Hillary lose to a political rookie. Yeah, it was so fucking hilarious to watch Hillary lose. Wasn't the Trump presidency fucking hilarious for us all? Didn't it go goddamn swimmingly? Isn't it a big fucking joke? Super goddamn left-wing. And doubling and tripling down on he has no responsibility for anything. Why? Person after person going public. Explain it to him. Yes, you influenced me down the outright pipeline. Yes, you deserve responsibility for it. Nope, he was 100% my right into right-wing propaganda, says Agenda Blob. He, along with other people like Shu in the anti-SJW sphere, brainwashed and radicalized people during the Gamergate era. Yes. No responsibility, folks. Here's Shu's response. Making fun of the whole situation, doubling, tripling down on it. I was a Nazi. No, you weren't. You watched some Ben Shapiro videos and thought the attack helicopter joke was funny, and then some moron years later convinced you that's what being a Nazi is. If you help spread white supremacy talking points, yes, you're a fucking Nazi. Hey, if you hang out Lauren goddamn Southern, when people are saying, hey, Lauren Southern's out there shooting flares at migrant boats, people who are risking their lives, the lives of their family, to come over, to have a better life, you're out there trying to make their lives tougher. You're shooting goddamn flares at migrants. When you're hanging out with Nazis and people say you're being a fucking Nazi, you're being a fucking Nazi. Take some goddamn responsibility. Downplaying all this goddamn bullshit. It's what they all fucking do. And yeah, it's irritating as fuck. Now I'm all mad. Anyway, I'm going to skip over the whole rest of this section because I'm too irritated with you motherfuckers now. Why do I have so much trash in my fucking